YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for the Crown Lance from King-ohger. This is the power-up weapon/device for the Red Ranger as well as the Silver Ranger. Although it appears it doesn't have the transformation sounds for the Silver Ranger, unless I'm stupid, which I am, and I couldn't find it, but I didn't see anything in the videos I watched or the instructions, but regardless, this is the device and weapon used for the primary power-up of the series. So, let's go over the aesthetics first. Honestly, there's not too much to write home about. I do like the concept of the design, like with the crown sort of becoming part of the hilt and stuff like that, but the design in general is kind of rather unexciting, and the toy doesn't do it any favors. Like, the primary lance isn't missing any details, but it's rather boring on its own. It looks kind of like a weird ice cream cone thing, or it kind of looks like a really cheapo toy you'd get from Big Lots. And the crown's nothing to write home about either, just in regards to the toy. Like, it looks fine for what it is. The gems kind of look neat, but it looks kind of boring and dull with the gold plastic they used. Like, even the packaging has some shots that make it seem a little shinier. Like, I think it would look really tacky looking all chrome or something like that, but I think they could have had a gold plastic that maybe shined a little bit more, because as a result, the toy overall just looks kind of dull in my opinion. It is, however, a pretty decent size. You know, Sentai like swords and stuff like that are usually pretty small. This isn't exactly like the show, but it feels a lot better than a lot of them, especially, you know, some recent ones, and a little bit better size-wise than the Changer in some ways. So I do appreciate that, and then when you have this on there, it's kind of got this nice added heft that just make it feel kind of like a more substantial weapon, which is kind of neat. So you do have some like transformation sounds for this, because like in the show, he transforms by putting the crown on his head before you actually put it on the lance for the functions. So get it started by pressing this. And then this would be pressed on your head. I'm not going to do it though. So you get the transformation sounds. I'm not the biggest fan of this. To be honest, overall this toy is kind of a mixed bag of some sounds I like, some I don't. I'm not a fan of the sing-songy changers or rider belts or anything. To me, they all just wind up sounding the same and kind of like a whiny voice being like, so that's my interpretation. So anyway, so let's put this on here. So you line up this bit right here that goes here with the button here, so that it'll be able to press it, and you'll get some sort of like confirmation noises. And it feels pretty, like, you know, satisfying to do it in terms of like the mechanism. Now when you press this, you will now get some slashing sounds. And just of note, once you get started on like the main sounds, you won't be able to access these slashing sounds again unless you reset it, which is kind of weird and slightly annoying, to be honest. It's not a huge deal, but I don't know, I just don't like that. So you have two primary different sounds. One of them is just by hitting these buttons, you get a series of different like jingle attacks. And it will do the slashing noises after that, but if you activate the other one where you spin it around, it will just default to where you left off on that. But anyway, here's the next one. That right there is my favorite jingle. I really dig that one a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, now let's move on to the next sound. So you do that by sort of unlatching this, and you'll get this sort of standby noise until you twirl it all the way around and it clicks again. Now moving on to the next one. And that takes us back to 1. So overall, honestly, this thing is pretty solid. It's not my personal favorite. Like I said, design-wise, it can seem a little dull, even though it is a pretty solid size and all that stuff. But you get a pretty good bang for your buck in terms of the sounds. It's got a pretty decent variety. Like I said, it's kind of a 50-50 mix of some jingles and stuff that annoy me. Some of the pronunciation annoys me sometimes too, but it's also got some good stuff in there. Like I said, it's not a personal favorite of mine, but I think it's overall a pretty solid, like, henshin device weapon release. I will say, like, unless you really, really want it, like, right now, it can be a little bit pricey with shipping sometimes, so I would maybe wait for a potential sale. I feel like I give that advice a lot, but that's just kind of good advice for anything, to wait for it to go on sale. But I'll just say that, like, I think that you'll feel you're getting your bang for your buck more if you're getting it on a sale, and since you have to pay for extra shipping. But overall, a really solid release. That's about it for this one, though, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.